There are things that this world can provide. There are pleasures that this world can provide. There are things that this world can provide that make life easier, that make life more enjoyable. But if those kind of things begin to supersede who God is and take the place of God's plan for your life, you're beginning to border on this thing called greed, of wanting more. You think of the next verse where he says in verse 19, listen to what he says. This guy, he's still speaking to himself. He's going to have a reality check. I'm going to say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, fool, this night your soul will be required of you. Then whose will those things be which you have provided? So is he who lays up treasures for himself and is not rich towards God. Isn't this crazy? This guy is talking to himself, and he is twisted in his priority system because it's all about himself. He's trying to figure out how to amass more stuff. And he says to himself, I'm doing good. I'm a success. I have finally reached the goal I have always wanted to reach. I am a successful businessman. I have enough stored up for myself for many, many years. Do you know that verses 17, 18, and 19, 13 times this man uses the phrase, I, me, myself. I've amassed enough stuff for myself. I will say to myself, relax, enjoy life, eat, drink, be merry. Now, we would look at somebody like this and we would say, now that is a picture of success. He's made it. He's on the cover of the Wall Street Journal. He's on the cover of all of the financial magazines on how to make $1 million. He has reached the pinnacle of success, and we look at somebody like that and go, oh man, if I could just be like that, if I could ever be at that point, oh man. In verse 20, did you notice what Jesus said? Jesus said that God said to him, fool. Isn't that crazy? That here now the world looks at all of this abundance, the world looks at all of this stuff and considers that a successful life. Heaven looks down, God looks down from heaven and he says, you fool. Now I'm going to read to you the definition of the word fool from the original language, the New Testament written in common day Greek. The word fool is the word aphron. And here's what that means. It means mindless, stupid, ignorant, egotistical, not understanding. That's what that word means. And so here is this man boasting about all that he's accomplished and all of the popularity and all of the power and the great reputation that he has because of all of his earthly possessions. And heaven looks down and he says, mindless. You don't understand. Now, again, I'm going to repeat myself. I don't want you to misunderstand. I don't want you to leave here or one of the campuses or watching by internet or whatever and to ever think that I or us as a ministry think that there's something wrong with having stuff. Don't misunderstand. Don't miscommunicate to somebody else what I'm saying. It happens, you know. It happened to this couple. Miscommunication, misunderstanding. Listen to this. A couple from Minneapolis decided to come to Florida to thaw out during one particular icy winter. They planned to stay at the very same hotel where they spent their honeymoon 20 years earlier. Because of their hectic schedules, the husband left Minnesota and flew to Florida on Thursday with his wife arriving the following day. The husband checked into the hotel. There was a computer in his room, so he decided to send an email to his wife. However, he accidentally left out one letter in her email address, and without realizing his error, he sent the email to somebody in Houston. A widow in Houston had just returned home from her husband's funeral. He was a minister who had been called home to glory following a sudden heart attack. The widow decided to check her email, expecting messages from her relatives. After reading the first message, she fainted. Her son rushed into the room and found his mom on the floor and couldn't imagine what happened to her until he looked up at the computer screen and read, "My loving wife, I've arrived at my destination and I've been checked in." You must be really surprised to hear from me, but they have computers down here. and you're allowed to send emails to your loved ones. I've made arrangements so that you can join me tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you then. P.S. Get ready. It's really hot down here. No, see, that's messed up. That's miscommunication. You misunderstood what I'm saying. Enjoy your stuff, man.